I've meet other teachers and healers and blah, blah, blah. And they ask me like, who's your teacher? What did you read? How do you know this and that? And I'm like, oh, 80% of everything I learned is from being a barista for 25 years. And I'm still a barista. What I love about it too is that like I'm a barista and people don't know this other stuff I do, right? And they'll treat me like I'm less than them. People treat me like I'm worthless, you know? I'm like, yeah, this is what most people are experiencing. Like, I need that. I need to know what that feeling is because I've been offered lots of money for coaching and I could have been wealthier. And I've had giant opportunities that I turned down because I knew it would be a corruption of some principle. And I'm poor, right? I'm like debt. I'm in debt, right? But this feeling of how people are treating me, it keeps me grounded. It's what helps me help the big leaders that I help. I can tell them shit they forgot because they're in a bubble where they're surrounded by affluent, happy people that just tell them shit they want to hear. So they forget what it is to suffer and be treated like nothing. And I never want to forget that. So being a barista offers me that feeling to some extent. And so I try to take that in because a lot of baristas are like come from middle class families and they can't handle being treated like that, you know. They're like, how dare them, you know. And I'm like, that's how we get treated though. And it's enough to survive. You know, it's just enough to survive. And I don't know, right now, a lot of big things are happening. Meeting very famous people. They're taking me out to lunch, taking me backstage. Stuff like that's happening suddenly. But I didn't compromise, luckily. I could have compromised, but I didn't. And maybe I'm finally getting there. I'm 42. I hear younger kids like, oh, I'm like, I'm 42. I'm still fucking nothing, you know, but I have so much hope, you know, and yeah, and things are looking up right now. But in a way where it's very, I dissociate sometimes because it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel real sometimes. So I'm like, like people I admire for years are like, I don't know, it doesn't feel real. And they're like talking to me like I'm the celebrity. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? I'm dead. And yeah, I think I have this delusion that I might be an 85-year-old man dying on my deathbed right now. And I've had this miraculous opportunity to witness my life flashing before my eyes, but it's happening in real time. And I'm actually dying right now on my deathbed. Since I've known this to be true, just miracle, synchronicities. And I'm never like completely fucked so far, you know? Yeah. But that could happen too. I'm also ready for that to happen. I don't want it to happen, but if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think people are like, how do I have this, you know, big apartment? How do I go eat out every day? How do I, you know, like, are they talking about survival or are they talking about thriving? You know, like, so these are different things, right?
Yeah.
But I think I'm on the cusp of thriving, I guess, but we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious about this for you. You talked about being offered different financial opportunities that you said no to for, you know, corruption in one way or another. Some people would maybe say that you might have gotten some large money, but if you have more money, you can actually help more people. What was your thought process into saying no to those opportunities?
One opportunity was I had this web series I made, and it was like Everything Ever All at Once, okay? But I did like 15 years ago, and it's called The Cubby. And this one young director was a little younger than me. She was interested in directing. I was like, oh, great. And when she was interested, this producer, everybody wants to be involved, right? And then all the main people on the team were like, you're better than everyone. You got to take this project with me, and we got to fuck these other kids, right? Almost everyone made this offer to me, except one person had the best offer. She's like, I'm signed at CAA. My agent knows about your project. You got to dump these kids. Let's go to Hollywood, you know? And I was like, oh, I can't, because the young woman, she believed in it, and none of you would be here if it wasn't for her, you know?
Yeah.
And this person looked at me like I was the most naive fucking idiot in the world. And I was ashamed, you know? And that could have changed my life, right? And there was another opportunity a few years ago where I was at a party with all these improv comics, like working improv comics, and this producer guy, he thought I said something, and he got really angry at me. He's like, you know what you said? I was like, I don't know. I was like, honestly, I don't know what you think I said or what I said, but I'm so sorry if I offended you, you know? And he was like, are you drunk? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, I'm really drunk right now. I think Maybe I misheard you. I'm like, okay. So what do you do? And I started pitching him projects. He's like, what if I told you I could make all those shows happen right now? I said, honestly, that would not surprise me if you said that to me right now. And he's like, my man, he got all excited, and then he tells the host of the party, he's like, all right, yo, send her your scripts. Okay, you're gonna get his scripts, give them to me. And I was like, holy shit, you're just talking to the host of the party who's not your assistant, like she's your assistant. And I was like, what? And he's like shaking my hand. We will meet again. And generally, when people shake my hand really hard, and they say we're gonna meet again, I know I'm never gonna see them again, right? but the way he treated her was like, nah, I can get all these shows made right now. That's unacceptable, though. The way he treated her. Or I had a multi-million-dollar project going on with this production company, and it was like we were getting in pre-production, and there was a holiday party, and then the VP of the company hugged one of my team members, and he was like, oh, that hug's not good enough, so he tried to hug her again and again. I didn't know about this. I found out afterwards, and she told me, and this was before Me Too. This was 1 year before Me Too. She told me what happened. I was like, oh, I think we're going to have to shut everything down. And she's like, no, that's crazy. I was like, no, this feels like a test. I feel like if I say okay to this will escalate, and I don't know how safe everyone's going to be. But I need everyone to know that if they work with me, they're going to be safe, And I'm like, I know this is right, And then she just started crying, bawling, because she did not expect me to say that. And colleagues and friends of mine just thought, wow, you're so stupid. Why'd you do that? You're an idiot. And then Me Too happens. No one's telling me I'm stupid anymore, But like there was like the moment involved some sort of corruption, and I knew it. I knew this was a test. I knew I could take the step, but I'm okay. I know wealth, it does not equate to happiness, right? And I know wealth can be a curse. And I know lots of millionaires that are like so depressed that I'm not under any illusion that this is the one shot. Because I get once in a lifetime opportunities every other year, and I know it's like a lot of times it's a test, but when it feels right, I'm like, all right, let's fucking do it.